Yahoo! Welcome, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love, and my Scorpios, my Golems. Welcome to your December 2018 report. Thank you so much for joining me on this video, and definitely going to do my best. Absolutely, not do my best. I'm going to make all the freaking horoscopes for this month. I've realized a lot over the Scorpio season, but now that we're in the Sagittarius season, I'm really just like super pumped up and really just confirmed that, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta make these videos. I have to, you know, I can't really hold back anymore, to put it bluntly. And in many ways, I feel like a lot of Scorpios are feeling that, is that we can't really hold back. Because a lot of people have been saying that Scorpios are so intense, they're crazy, all they care about is sex. People don't realize how sacred sex is and just what that energy is in general. And really, Scorpios, you know, we've gone through so much. And it's funny because I didn't really think I was going to start these December readings by doing Scorpio first, but that's just kind of what came through. And we're going to roll with it. So this is your 2018 report. I'm going to just be drawing cards, and I will talk about a little bit of the astrology, of course. But since there's so many things going on in December, I really wanted to figure out, I was like, how can I talk about the astrology to all these 12 signs? But I realized that I had to, you know, for my benefit and for your benefit, focus in on one or two transits in particular that really would speak to you. So I use the cards to work for that, because I have a deck that it's like it's this deck right here. Actually, it's the Barbary Zodiac Oracle. So it separates it into the signs, the element, and then the planets. So what I did is I figured, well, I will know exactly what astrology aspect to talk about based off of whatever card I drew. And for you, Scorpio, I actually drew the card of Cancer for December. And Cancer represents the 4th house. For you, it's your 9th house, right, Scorpio? So this has everything to do with your belief structure. It has to deal with, in many ways, your traditions, kind of your spirituality and the ways you approach these areas, you know, travel. And considering the fact that the sun right now is in the natural 9th house of Sagittarius, this definitely makes sense. Of course, the sun being in your 2nd house of Sagittarius is talking about your self-worth, your value, money, income, and this confidence, how you kind of ground yourself, how you remain rooted to this reality in many ways. But like I said, we have the card of Cancer. And what's interesting about this is that on December 27th, we do have Mars, which is a planet that does co-rule you, making a trine over to the North Node. And at 26 degrees, the North Node will be at 26 degrees of Cancer. Mars will be at 26 degrees of Pisces. So this is a very beautiful transit to definitely pay attention to. And yes, it's towards the end of December. But what you're going to really be feeling with this trine is that you are definitely going to be feeling called to take some type of action in line with your destiny and where you're heading to. What's the North Node in Cancer? The North Node, of course, talks about destiny and where the universe kind of wants us to aim at. Cancer is dealing with the home, foundation, family, emotions, sensitivities in many ways. But this trine is going to make it so that whatever actions that you take are really in line with your emotional guidance system, but it is of the utmost importance that are in and around this date, or even just as you build up to this date, to cultivate feelings of joy, to cultivate feelings of happiness, to cultivate feelings of success. Because if you cultivate these higher vibrational feelings, you are going to feel super, super powerful when your co-ruling planet of Mars makes a trine over to the North Node. Because whatever action that you take, you can be feeling really inspired by the end of the month, by the end of December, and especially going into the new year with Mars going into its home side, you are going to be ready to take action. You're going to be ready to move forward. You're going to be like, you know what? I am the shit. I am the shit. And that's kind of how Scorpios are feeling. It's like this whole energy, it's like Taurus and Taurus, like, I don't know if you get this. You know, and you could be cross-watching, by the way. This is for if you have your Sun in Scorpio, your Moon, or your Rising, or maybe your Venus or your Mars if you happen to be cross-watching. We all have Scorpio energy. But what's interesting about it, and I'm sure you've noticed it, especially if you have your Sun in Scorpio, you meet someone, oh, what's your sign? I'm a Scorpio. Oh. What does that mean? What does "oh" mean? Like, do you be like that? Do you be like, what does that even mean? Oh. It's like, oh yes. Scorpio is one of the most intense signs of the zodiac. It is. It rules the natural 8th house of death and transformation. But you really have to reform and realign what you believe is death to what it actually is, which is transformation, which is alchemy, which is revitalization, which is clearing space so we can bring in a new metamorphosis. Scorpio is about to go through a deep transformational period, a deep metamorphosis. They just had Jupiter go through their sign. Now it's in their home sign. Now Jupiter's in its home sign of Sagittarius, which, mind you, is, like I said, the 2nd house. So now the Scorpios are feeling renewed in themselves and who they are. Now it's going to be up to them to start to take actions based off of that. And that's going to really begin to reflect their value that they see in themselves. Do you believe that you are infinitely abundant? Do you believe that you can manifest that dream? That you can manifest those deeper desires? Do you believe that you are worthy of that dream? Do you believe that you are worthy of that dream? And if you are encountered with opposition to that belief, if you encounter opposition to the worth that you feel in yourself, do you have the courage and the bravery to stand on that belief anyways? You have to think, Mars is also, it's a warrior. So Scorpios in many ways are going to feel this warrior energy rise up within them. And in many ways, this energy, since this is a trine, is going to be healed. Because I feel like Scorpios, a lot of Scorpios have been fighting. And they haven't really gotten the results that they want. And it's almost like I kind of feel, at least I feel this me. Like I said, I have Sun conjunct Pluto, conjunct Mars, and Scorpio in the 12th house. And in many ways, I feel, at least in my personal experience, that I've done so much. And I feel like I haven't gotten out of it what I really want. But based off of the laws of reciprocity, maybe I haven't done enough. And maybe my actions haven't accurately reflected the value that I truly feel on a deep sense. So a lot of Scorpios right now are feeling like, I feel like I'm so super powerful and I can manifest anything that I want. How come it's not showing up? Bottom of the deck, I'm using my Line Strider Tarot deck. Bottom of the deck is that we have the King of Swords. The King of Swords. So this has everything to do with some type of authority within your mind. This has everything to do with your mental alchemy in many ways, which is something that I've been working on. The King of Swords can also be talking about an air sign, a Gemini, a Libra, an Aquarius. I'm feeling Libra or Aquarius. But this has to do with, what are the thoughts that you tell yourself? What are you telling yourself right now? What I've been doing lately, and this is just my personal experience, so I just recommend it to you. You don't necessarily have to do this if you don't feel called to, or if this doesn't resonate with you. But what I've been working with is mental alchemy. And what literally I will do is I will tell myself, my thoughts are pure. My thoughts are sacred. My thoughts are beautiful. My thoughts are protective. My thoughts are supportive. My thoughts are loving. My thoughts are compassionate. I've been saying these things to myself, and I've noticed differences, because when there are moments where anxiety may slip in, where doubt may slip in, it's not so much that I don't feel it, but I don't stay stuck in that feeling. I don't stay stuck in a negative thought loop that will let me know that it's not going to work out. I might question myself, it might not work out. Why wouldn't it work out? Most of the time when we have these negative thoughts, and have these worries and these doubts and these anxieties, is that we are protecting ourselves. But from what? What are we protecting ourselves from? Let's find out, shall we? We are protecting ourselves from letting go. We have the Hanged Man here. And this card has been coming up a lot for me lately. We have the Hanged Man. What we are scared of, what we are running, my camera cut out, but what we are afraid of is embracing this divine trust that things are going to work out in our favor. The Hanged Man is speaking to, and what I love about this deck is that it uses a tiger. And it's a blue tiger, which when I think of blue, of course, I do think of the throat chakra and voice and communication. And with the Hanged Man being here with the tiger, which is a symbol of strength in many ways. And if you look at Chinese folklore and the Chinese mythology, the tiger is really the only animal that the Chinese felt could rival the dragon in power and abundance and strength. So to have the tiger hang upside down, sometimes in many ways we can feel that no matter how powerful we are, we're still just kind of hanging there. No matter how much influence we feel like we have, we're still kind of just hanging there. So there could be a lot of Scorpios out there right now that could be the head of a business, that could be a politician that influences a lot of people. We can have Scorpios out there that can have billions upon billions of dollars, or even a Scorpio that doesn't have that much money, but they still feel that super powerful nature. They might just express it in another way. Can still feel like they're just hanging there. And there is a humbling energy to this December energy that's coming through, but also a very empowering energy to it. I'm going to cut the deck again. And look at this. We got the Devil card. We got the Devil card. So really what I'm seeing this as is that there are definitely going to be temptations. And I cut this deck from the section that the King of Swords was on. So there could be a person, an air sign that comes into your life that may provide some type of temptation. Like I said, either a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius. Or what I love about this deck is that it shows these individuals, and it seems like they've had an argument, and they're kind of chained together though. And I think this is very beautiful because what it accurately describes is that how we really are connected to each other, but in these moments of disagreement and these moments where we are against each other, it's like we still want to have some type of connection. We still want to be able to connect to somebody, but we still disagree. So there are going to be moments, or this is going to present itself as a situation where you may be tempted by something, and your soul might not necessarily agree with it, but it is a situation that needs to happen because you have some lesson to learn, I'm seeing. Let's see what if I cut the deck with the Hanged Man. We have the Sun. Beautiful. We have the Sun, which lets me know that you need to pay attention. Of course, this whole Sagittarius season, with the Sun being in your second house, what's being illuminated right now, which you are coming into the awareness of, is just how important your self-esteem is, Scorpio. It's one thing to be one of the darkest signs of the zodiac. You know, it represents the underworld and death and all these things that we like to paint as dark, black, taboo. You know what I'm saying? But what the Sun is saying is a lot. What your belief in yourself and your value that you feel, the value that you give every day, is really going to be illuminated quite heavily, and you're going to really know and understand who you are based off of where you are at. Really, by the end of the year, even though the Sun will be in Capricorn by that time, but technically by the end of the year, you're really going to start to uncover really where you are right now. Literally, what I'm doing is I'm just cutting the deck. I'm cutting the deck again from the King of Swords. And what we actually have right here very interesting is that we actually have the Magician. Now it is reverse, but we have the Magician, right? And the Magician speaks to, yes, being that spiritual authority on our life where we're not really waiting for an outside source to confirm to us our magical abilities. We're not necessarily waiting for an outside source to confirm to us just how powerful we are. We can see synchronicities, we can see different alignments, but if you don't take time, really every day, to acknowledge the beauty, the purity, the perfection, the unending and undying support and transformation and blissfulness of every single day, without the need to see 1111, without the need to have like a random friend call you up that you haven't spoken to in a while that you just suddenly had a dream about. Yes, we have these external synchronicities, but the best and most pure and the most transformational synchronicities come from within. It's not looking at your clock and suddenly seeing 1111 or 222 or 333. Right? This is a divine activation for you, Scorpio. Really exciting. Let's cut the deck from the Hangman card. And what we have right here is the World. We have the World. The world is your oyster, and you are the pearl. Pearls take time to develop. The transit, like I said, that we're focusing on is this Mars trining the North Node in Cancer. This isn't until December 27th. So from now until December 27th, you're going to be feeling this buildup, this growth. You may start as a single grain of sand, but if you add to that single grain of sand every day, you take a step every day. Take a step every day. You take a step every day. Take a step every day. No matter how small it is, that grain of sand will indeed and absolutely will turn into a beautiful pearl. What I'm feeling, especially with this World card, is that there may be people that you may be giving pearls of wisdom to that don't appreciate it. You may be trying to speak to the wrong people. You may be trying to go after a specific group of people instead of just kind of casting a broad net and seeing what you attract. You may be going into a forum and you may be trying to express your truth in your experience and what you're going through in your journey, and you may be receiving backlash. You may be receiving, oh, I don't agree with that, and that's going to happen. But maybe instead of going into arenas where you probably are going to be rejected, why don't you just create the platform to express yourself and allow the world to respond to you? Instead of you responding to the world, what if the world responded to you, Scorpio? Think about that. Let's cut the deck of the Sun. And we have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands. So remember what I said earlier about standing your ground? And I feel like a lot of times these messages, of course, apply directly to me. Especially when I do the Scorpio ones. But this is talking about standing on your truth, standing your ground. So there are going to be times throughout December where your self-confidence and your self-esteem are going to be challenged. Because you may express your truth, you may express a desire, you may express a vision that you have for the future, and people may not get it. They may be like, why would you want to do that? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't fit within our norm. That makes me a little uncomfortable. Who said that transformation was a 100% comfortable experience? When a snake sheds its skin, why do you think they're like, don't buy? If you have like a pet snake, and I don't have a pet snake, but if you have a pet snake, they're like, if it sheds its skin, you don't want to fuck with the snake. Excuse my language. It's because it's hypersensitive. We're going through, and you gotta think, we just came out of Scorpio season, which is a deep shedding period, which in many ways you can think of every time that the sun goes into a water sign, that it's a deep shedding period. Now that the sun is in Sagittarius, this is about expressing, creativity, and expressing that passion. Utilize this time right now and stand on your truth. Because if you don't, nobody else will. Think about it. You are, in many ways, a representative of your higher self. Right? So, if you don't stand on your truth, who's going to do it? The higher self is more subtle. Right? It's not just going to do everything for you. This is about taking some personal responsibility. I'm going to cut the deck a few more times. I'm going to cut the deck with the Hanged Man. And we have the Four of Wands. We have the Four of Wands. Some of y'all may be getting married. But really what this is talking about is a celebration of some sort. And yes, this could be a marrying of energies. So you may realize over December that you absolutely can marry or integrate with your dream or your passion. You absolutely can. What's stopping you? In many ways, it's you that's stopping you. Let's cut the deck with the set of cards with the Devil. We have the Two of Cups. Yep, some of you are definitely going to get married and meet a soulmate, twin flame. I'm feeling more of a soulmate. But there's definitely some sort of deeper emotional connection and understanding that you're going to have with another individual. And it's really just going to be like, you're just going to be really waking up to your power. You're going to really be waking up to what is possible. And instead of just kind of staying in dream world and la-la world, you're actually going to take action. And yes, you may not necessarily take the action that you want to take or that you feel is bubbling up within you until the 27th or in and around that time when Mars comes closer to that North Node. But best believe, a miracle is right around the corner. That is it for your reading, Scorpio. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And if you would like a personal reading with me, I am going to do a end of the year sale, which will officially go on sale as soon as we enter into December. But if you would like a personal reading with me, beloved, you can follow the link in the description below too, astrofenixx.com. And always remember, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love, to keep moving forward, to stay focused, and Yahoo! Smile often.